Welcome to Consulting Conversations with Kris and Katie. I am Kris Taylor. I am the co-founder of LEAP, the founder of Evergreen Leadership. And I am not joined today by Katie McNamee, but she'll be on other consulting conversations. She is my co-founder with LEAP and founded her firm right out of college, which is Elevate Online. Today, we are joined by Alex Rufato-Perry, the CEO of Practically Speaking, and she has the unique distinction of being the very first person that I worked with, and Katie worked with a little bit as we were starting LEAP. So she started Practically Speaking just as we were starting LEAP, and we practiced a lot of the stuff that we were going to offer on Alex. So we wanted to take this opportunity to both celebrate, is it 4 years now?
Yeah,
four and a half
years.
Of successfully launching Practically Speaking. And we also want to take this opportunity to learn from you some of those stages of building and then reimagining. So let's start first of all with the basics. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Alex Perry, and I am the owner of Practically Speaking, where I help people communicate with confidence. A really practical way to say that is I help people talk. So I help people talk to each other. I help people talk through presentations. I help people talk. And it's what I have always done throughout my career. And I love it. I just love it, Kris.
I know you love it. And I love that about you. But because it's not just about talking, it's about connecting. It's about communicating. It's about sharing. And I think, the world's in such dire need of more and more people that have those skills. Yeah.
For sure.
So, I remember back 4.5 years ago, as you were thinking about what you were doing and starting to give shape to that, talk through what are some of the transformations you've taken in the last 4.5 years?
Oh my gosh. So if I look back at where I was 4.5 years ago, terrified, had one tiny little business boutique book that I had sort of made my way through. I had a $5 Fiverr business card, a website that I tried to build on my own, which was a disaster because this was almost the really simple websites to build. Like I was trying to build it on G Suite. And I knew that I wanted to help people talk. I knew I wanted this communication business, but I was not really leaning into who I was or how I operate and trying to fit a mold and recreate what was already created in the world in terms of, just boring communication offerings. So the iterations we've gone through in that have been some pretty cheesy versions of communication offerings that had a varied degree of success, but were fun for me to try. I've gone from speaking to, job seekers in a basement and getting abysmal feedback all the way to now I've done one TEDx talk. I'm getting ready to do a second TEDx talk. Part of my business, I started writing, and then from writing, I went to, blogging and an email newsletter, and then I have a book, and now I have a second book. So it's been this incredible journey. And now where I find myself is in this place of really getting back to the root of what I'm doing, which is helping people talk. So now I've established a certain amount of credibility. I have much better systems and processes in place. I'm much clearer on my vision and how I implement what I do. So I can go out and articulate that and really work with the type of clients that I want to work with and stay at that core of I'm here to help you. I'm here like the personal trainer for talking. So
it's interesting how the experience I've had is you circle back and you're in that same place for you, it's helping people talk, right? But you're in a different place because you've done all this stuff. And it's I don't know whether it's deeper or broader, but you circle back and you get to that kind of home again, but you're a different person, but it's still that home. That's hard to describe, but So the people no, go ahead.
Oh, you're more grounded. I feel more grounded in what I do. And that groundedness allows me to talk about, sell, implement things with a heck of a lot more confidence.
And speed. sometimes.
And speed.
And smart. We're a little bit smarter this time around.
Definitely smarter.
Yeah, way
Whoa.
smarter.
Yes.
So, typically the folks that listen in on consulting conversations with Katie and I are folks that are either thinking about launching their own consulting business or typically are more early stage. So when you think back to yourself 4.5 years ago, what do you wish you would have known? Or what do you wish somebody would have just sat down and said, hey, Alex, here's something you need to know as you start this journey?
Yeah. First thing is to take consistent action over and over and over again. And then the really honest, practical advice of this takes time.
Yeah.
So find the joy in the journey and the repetitions, because so much of this, and we talked about this, before we hopped on this call, was just that it is this process of getting the reps in, of doing things over and over and over again to create the muscle memory.
Yeah.
And so I think, and I don't know if you feel this way, that there's a very large subset of the consulting population, or what you see on social media, that says, go out there and make 6 figures, be a flash success. And there isn't such a thing. What you see when someone is successful is the accumulation of all those tiny little steps that they took to get there.
Yes. Yeah. And we often say that the first year is probably your hardest, because you're just building and you're not certain, but it's worth it, right? So what are some of the reasons that all this 4.5 years later, some of the reasons you're really glad you took this step?
Oh my gosh, I took this step. I think it just overarching in life, when you have created something that is your own, the amount of confidence and pride you have in yourself is unbeatable. So no matter what happens, the fact that I had created and have implemented, practically speaking, and made a business on my own is huge. Yeah. So that's a huge thing. What else am I most proud of? Is that I'm still answering that question, right? Gosh, writing a book. Yeah. Helping people, honestly. So when I talk about what I do, I'm a front row fan. And I sit in the front row for every speaker, for every person that I can be there for, I am there for. And so to watch somebody own their voice, and use their voice at a conference table, on a presentation, in a one-on-one conversation with their boss. I mean, gosh, I had this client where I helped her get a job within her company, like elevate her position, elevate her pay, elevate everything about what she was doing. And it all boiled down to how she communicated and how she asked for it. And it's just the best experience ever to watch somebody do that.
Right. And they have to do the work, but you've had some small part in it. You've had a piece in it. And without you, So, that is,
that someone is willing to do the work and trust and process through with you. Oh, it's just the best.
It is the best. Well, Alex, you are the best. We love it that you still come back and talk to us and share your journey. And it's so fun to see how you've learned and grown. So for other people out there who are thinking about starting their own consulting career, whether you're just in the consideration phases or you've actually started and want to know how to grow and build your business, you will want to check out the LEAP free and paid resources here